Hi, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Natalie.
And we're from WILDCOAST. Today's activity is called Watershed in a Pan. We'll be demonstrating how all waterways lead to the ocean. Far too often there's a disconnect between activities done upstream and the impact it has on the ocean.
Activities upstream involve everything from throwing a piece of trash on the ground instead of a trash can to washing your car in the driveway and having all the pollutants, exhaust residue, motor oil, and gasoline wash into the storm drain,
which then enters your watershed and eventually flows down into the ocean.
Watersheds are areas that channel rainfall to creeks, streams, and rivers that eventually flow to the ocean. San Diego County has many watersheds, including one in Carlsbad, another in Penasquitos, and one in Tijuana, that all empty out into marine protected areas.
Marine protected areas, or MPAs, are areas in or near the ocean made to protect or conserve marine life and habitats, safeguard cultural sites, and provide enhanced recreational opportunities.
MPAs give marine species a safe place to breed and grow. They also provide opportunities for people to see beautiful, protected ocean spaces.
The learning objectives of this activity include students exploring their place in a watershed and modeling how activities upstream affect sandy shores downstream.
This activity allows students to draw conclusions about how they can take steps to protect their coastal and marine places, even if they don't live near the beach.
Students will use science and engineering to design and construct a watershed model that effectively protects human communities while reducing pollution of the watershed and marine protected areas downstream.
This activity is suitable for all grades. You can adjust how detailed you get with the design.
Now we're going to demonstrate how to design your watershed.
Divide students into research groups of 4 people.
You will need 1 paint tray per group.
Enough sponges or scraps of towels to fill the width of the paint tray.
Monopoly houses, 3 to 10 per group is fine.
Water and natural materials such as dirt, rocks, sticks, and leaves.
Plastic, paper, and other tiny scraps.
Vegetable oil.
And food coloring.
Before leaving the classroom, explain that each research group will be building a model of their watershed, including a sandy beach.
The deep end of the paint tray where the paint would normally go represents the MPA, which in this example would be Swami State Marine Conservation Area. The sponges or scraps of towels will be used to separate the paint well, or the MPA, from the rest of the tray.
The sponges or towels represent the wetland separating the rest of the watershed from the ocean. The wetland in this example is San Elijo State Marine Conservation Area. Upstream, above the sponges, represent Escondido.
Once outside, students will use natural materials to fill in the remaining part of their paint tray.
Students must also place at least 3 houses in their watershed. They may place more if desired.
Have each research team discuss a strategy and draw out a plan before leaving the classroom.
Take students into the field. Give them boundaries and instructions on which plants and materials are acceptable to use, and then tell them to begin building their watersheds. This takes about 20 minutes in the first round.
Once teams finish building their watershed models, call them all together and complete the following. Fill the paint well with enough water to get the sponges or towels just a little wet. Remind them that this represents the wetland and the MPA.
Ask students if humans put anything into the environment. If so, what? Common answers are trash, litter, pollution, etc.
Tell students you will be representing pollution by using scraps of paper and plastic for litter, vegetable oil for motor oil, and food dye for other pollutants.
Sprinkle the paper and plastic scraps around the houses.
Pour about 1 capful of vegetable oil around the houses. Place 5 drops of food dye in front of each house. You can add more types of pollution if you wish. Now make it rain. Using a watering can or a reusable water bottle, pour water along the topmost part of the watershed model. Pour in just enough that the water saturates the soil and runs through the watershed.
Have students evaluate how their model did. Did all the houses survive? Did any of the pollutants make it to the wetland, the ocean? Where did each type of pollution accumulate?
Did what happened upstream impact the sandy shore? How so? Did what happened upstream impact the MPAs? How so?
As stated earlier, evidence suggests that MPAs may increase biodiversity and abundance by giving species a safe place to live, grow, and reproduce. However, this success is threatened by the activities that were represented in this model.
WILDCOAST works with 11 MPAs in San Diego County to protect the marine life and ecosystems within them by raising awareness of MPAs in the community, discussing water quality improvement plans for the Tijuana River watershed, and putting a stop to overfishing and other destructive practices.
We hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you're interested in more resources you can use in the classroom, log on to wildcoast.org and click on the Resources tab at the top of the page.
Bye!